CCI's new online publication series, Preventive Conservation Guidelines for Collections. The series contains 18 richly illustrated resources focusing on the structure, material properties, and vulnerabilities of objects, and on the care of specific types of collections, from paintings, paper, and photographic materials, to archaeological objects, ceramics, glass, metals, vehicles, and outdoor objects, from natural history specimens and objects made of feathers, quills, horn, baleen, skin or leather, to textiles, basketry, plastics and rubbers, as well as audio, video, and electronic recording media. Structured along CCI's 10 agents of deterioration, these resources highlight the sensitivity of particular objects to specific agents and the different means of control for each type of collection. This series is the result of a large collaborative effort within CCI and with outside experts. Check it out. We hope you'll enjoy it.
Le prix d'excellence de l'AMC dans la catégorie marketing est remis cette année au Musée d'art contemporain de Montréal pour son exposition Leonard Cohen, une brèche en toutes choses. Inscrite dans la programmation officielle des activités du 375e anniversaire de Montréal, l'exposition multidisciplinaire où se mélangeaient art visuel, réalité virtuelle, installation, performance et musique, a proposé au public des œuvres inédites conçues par une quarantaine de créateurs locaux et internationaux s'inspirant de l'univers des grands thèmes de la vie et de l'œuvre de Leonard Cohen. Afin de promouvoir cette remarquable exposition, l'équipe des communications du Musée d'art contemporain de Montréal a déployé une campagne multimédia tripartite audacieuse. Placement média, développement de contenu et activation sur le terrain. Ce projet de communication reposait sur un plan média exceptionnellement bonifié et incluait une campagne numérique d'envergure, de la promotion à la télévision, dans les quotidiens et de l'affichage à travers Montréal dans de nombreux lieux de communautaires, sportifs, universitaires et de divertissement. L'un des indices les plus évocateurs du succès de cette campagne promotionnelle est sans contredit la fréquentation exceptionnelle de plus de 315 000 visiteurs, soit une hausse de 42% comparée à l'année précédente.
Leonard Cohen is, of course, Montreal's secular saint, and we had an opportunity to celebrate him during the 375th anniversary celebrations of the city. We couldn't think of anybody more deserving than our local legend and hero, who is also a planetary star. So we thought he was an amazing subject to explore. And of course, we weren't interested in a biographical exhibition, but rather a contemporary art exhibition where artists could reflect on Leonard Cohen's cultural output, could reflect on his life, could reflect on his writing, on his philosophy, on his spirituality, on his poetry. And I think that's what makes the show so exceptional and singular, is the approach that we took, that that Leonard actually agreed to, and made all of his life's work available to us. So very, very proud of this achievement.
Le prix d'excellence de l'AMC dans la catégorie Nouveaux médias est remis cette année à Pointe-à-Calière, Cité d'archéologie et d'histoire de Montréal, pour son projet Archéolab.Québec, collection archéologique de référence au Québec. Archéolab.Québec est une collection de références en ligne de patrimoine archéologique québécois, réalisée grâce à un partenariat entre le ministère de la Culture et des Communications du Québec et Pointe-à-Calière, Cité d'archéologie et d'histoire de Montréal. Projet numérique innovateur sans égal au Canada, il a pour objectif de devenir une référence incontournable en archéologie en Amérique du Nord. Archéolab.Québec rend gratuitement accessible aux professionnels et non professionnels une sélection et une analyse d'artefacts les plus représentatifs des considérables collections issues de plus de 10 500 sites archéologiques québécois. Au sein d'Archéolab.Québec, des experts spécialisés dans des champs d'études pertinentes sont mandatés pour sélectionner les objets représentatifs et les documenter à la lumière des plus récentes connaissances. L'initiative s'inscrit dans le courant d'une archéologie citoyenne renouvelable qui rend le savoir et sa construction disponibles à tous les publics d'ici et d'ailleurs.
Je suis Hendrik Van Gezegem, je suis chargé de projet en archéologie et histoire ici au musée Pointe-à-Calière. Alors, Archéolab.Québec, c'est avant tout une collection de références du matériel archéologique, du registre archéologique québécois, dans toute sa diversité et dans toute sa complexité. On voulait rassembler sous un même toit numérique des collections qui provenaient d'un peu partout, des collections de la province, mais aussi des collections qui proviennent d'une vingtaine de partenaires, des municipalités, des musées, etc. Et tout rassembler ces collections qui étaient auparavant assez disparates. En plus de cette collection de références-là, on veut que Archéolab.Québec devienne un carrefour incontournable pour tout ce qui est de l'intérêt pour l'archéologie québécoise, la pratique de l'archéologie, la nature des collections, le cadre légal de l'archéologie au Québec, pour que toute personne, professionnelle ou non, qui s'intéresse à la pratique de l'archéologie ou à la culture matérielle, navigue naturellement vers cet outil-là qu'on a créé et qui est en constante évolution.
Located on the traditional, ancestral, and unceded territory of the Coast Salish peoples, including the Kwantlen, Katzie, and Semiahmoo nations, the Surrey Art Gallery has a history of collaborating with Indigenous artists through exhibitions, teaching and learning opportunities, residencies, and more. In the 90s, with art education PhD student Ivan Eagletail, the Indigenous Contemporary Art Workshop was developed to share, in Surrey schools, art by Indigenous artists from the gallery's permanent and public collections. Focusing on local Coast Salish and Northwest Coast cultures, Indigenous artist educators support teaching and learning with stories, touchable art, and hands-on art activities growing out of their own practices. The gallery continues to work with Indigenous artists, connecting and inviting the public to participate and engage creatively through recurring family, youth, and adult programs. Online resources extend learning beyond the classroom, furthering understanding of historical and contemporary matters through Indigenous art. Collaborating with Indigenous artists enables deepening learning about land, territory, and our shared responsibilities. Surrey Art Gallery reflects and responds to the needs of teachers, students, and visitors, as well as the nations and communities it serves. Working together by sharing our diverse perspectives increases our understanding of one another and contributes to positive change for generations to come.
So this book is a further expression of an extraordinary collaboration across multiple media between three Toronto artists, Edward Burtynsky, Jennifer Bechwal, and Nick Depensier. In thinking about this book with Goose Lane, my co-editors and I, Andrea Kennard and Urs Stahl, we really felt that we should continue this in the spirit of collaboration. The chorus of voices that we brought together, we felt expressed the debate around and the urgency around these issues, as well as the extraordinary exchange between the realms of art science and cultural theory, all of course alongside the compelling photographs and films that the artists themselves have produced, alongside a documentary film and exhibitions touring internationally. So we're thrilled that the Canadian Museums Association has honored the project and the book with this award. Thank you very much.
Heinsbergen.
And I'm Jennifer Kane.
Together we curated the exhibition Anna Wong, Traveler on Two Roads, which was on view the fall of 2018 at the Burnaby Art Gallery. Anna's artwork tells a universal story of a first-generation Canadian immigrant and details Wong's unique experience. Born and raised in Vancouver's Chinatown, Wong attended the Vancouver School of Art, where she fell in love with the process of printmaking. Wong left Vancouver to pursue her postgraduate education and spent 16 years practicing her art and teaching in New York. An avid traveler, Wong's numerous trips to China had a strong influence on the work she produced in the later years of her life. Throughout her career, Wong's independent spirit led her to define her own notion of artistic success.
The city of Burnaby has 80,000 residents who speak either Mandarin or Cantonese. We produced a multilingual exhibition, publications, programs, and educational materials, as well as a marketing campaign that helped us to reach these audiences. This exhibition is confirmed to tour to the Nanaimo Art Gallery in 2019 and the Musée des Beaux-Arts de Sherbrooke in 2020. Despite a commendable exhibition record, Wong has remained virtually unknown on the national stage until now. We invite you to learn more about the accomplishments of this significant Chinese-Canadian female artist.
Le prix d'excellence de l'AMC dans la catégorie Exposition d'art pour les musées ayant un budget opérationnel annuel de 1 million de dollars ou plus est remis cette année au Musée d'art contemporain de Montréal pour son exposition Leonard Cohen, Une brèche en toutes choses. Première exposition majeure dédiée au grand auteur-compositeur et homme de lettres, Leonard Cohen, Une brèche en toutes choses est consacrée à la célébration critique, à l'hommage affectueux et à la commémoration paisible d'une grande réussite artistique et d'une vie inspirante. Véritable exposition multidisciplinaire où se mélangent art visuel, réalité virtuelle, installation, performance et musique, l'exposition, inscrite dans la programmation officielle des activités du 375e anniversaire de Montréal, propose une expérience profonde, immersive et visuellement captivante de l'œuvre magnifique de Cohen. Réunissant plus de 40 créateurs, dont 22 Canadiens, l'exposition se compose de 16 œuvres commandées à des artistes visuels, cinéastes et performants qui ont été inspirés, influencés ou autrement touchés par l'univers des grands thèmes de la vie et de l'œuvre de Cohen. De par la qualité des contenus développés et le caractère innovateur de l'exposition, ce projet était véritablement rassembleur pour les communautés montréalaises, canadiennes et internationales. Aboutissement de plus de 3 années de développement, Leonard Cohen, Une brèche en toutes choses, a attiré plus de 315 000 visiteurs de partout à travers le monde, un nombre record pour le Musée d'art contemporain de Montréal.
Joseph here with Laura Muscle Savage, and welcome to the Indigenous Sports Gallery. So Laura, tell us about the gallery.
So this gallery is really a result of partners coming together in response to the 94 calls to action of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, specifically call number 87. And this gallery is a shining example of reconciliation in action. we are doing the job of telling the stories of Indigenous sport history in BC and celebrating Indigenous athletes.
Yeah, and from what I understand, there's been inclusion all over British Columbia with athletes and their stories that have come out to bear. What does it look like going forward?
Well, going forward, this gallery provides an opportunity to inspire future generations, to bring youth and to educate the public about Indigenous sport contribution and to motivate them to fulfill their dreams.
Well, thank you, Laura, and see everyone at the Indigenous Sport Gallery.
Northern Heritage Centre were really excited to put this project together. Special constables were Indigenous people in the Northwest Territories who helped the RCMP learn the skills they needed to survive and work in the North. While communities knew this history, a lot of the public didn't. So what we did is worked with community partners, the RCMP and a community curator, to go and collect 19 oral histories to help us put this exhibit together. We then made the main exhibit here and then created traveling exhibits that are going to circulate in every region to go to every community of the Northwest Territories. We also made a website in all 11 languages of the NWT, so we're very proud of this exhibit.
From time immemorial to the present day, the odyssey of a country and its people, an exhibition unrivaled in size and scope. 1,500 artifacts, 15,000 years of history. The museum's largest ever exhibition and renovation project. 40,000 square feet of gallery space reimagined. 5 years from conception to completion. Welcome to the Canadian History Hall, the new signature exhibition of the Canadian Museum of History. The experience begins in the gateway. Iconic images speak to Canadians of their history and identity. The gateway foretells what lies ahead, Canada's story told from multiple perspectives. The hall's architectural centerpiece is a grand rotunda. All around it is a sweeping walkway, and above, a massive domed ceiling, all inspired by the expanse and majesty of the Canadian landscape. The hub is a gathering place and waypoint, connecting 3 expansive galleries. 2 are on the main floor, the third on a mezzanine. Galleries 1 and 2 explore the central thread of Canada's history from the dawn of human habitation to the eve of the First World War. The creation of diverse and vibrant cultures by First Peoples, the arrival of Europeans and the disruption of Indigenous societies, the flowering of New France and the establishment of British North America, Confederation, the fur trade, and Canada's expansion west. Gallery 3 tells the story of modern Canada, the pursuit of independence and prosperity through 2 world wars and a Great Depression, the struggle by Indigenous peoples for truth and reconciliation, and the preservation of their cultures, the rise and impact of Quebec nationalism, the emergence of a more inclusive and diverse society, and a country both active and respected on the international stage. Together, the galleries reveal how we became the country and the people we are today. At the heart of the exhibition are personal stories, the lived experiences of real people. Matters of opinion, controversy, and debate are explored through multiple perspectives. The hall abounds with authentic artifacts, historical images, and treasured paintings. They bring our history to life and underscore its human drama. The handcuffs worn to the gallows by Louis Riel. The gun linked to the assassination of Thomas D'Arcy McGee. A barbed wire cross from the First World War. All testify to conflict, struggle, and loss. A Nobel Peace Prize medal. An electric guitar. A hero's t-shirt. All are symbols of success, accomplishment, and hope. The stories of First Peoples presented as an integral part of Canada's history. This man lived in the Canadian Arctic 800 years ago. Working with his remains, experts recreated his face and figure for the Canadian History Hall. We can now look for the first time at a real person who lived in Canada's north before the arrival of Europeans. This family lived on the west coast more than 4,000 years ago. Their remains were found buried close together. They are brought to life through digital recreation and animation. A bountiful family tree represents the 600-plus descendants of Catherine Moitié, a New France fille du roi. Video and digital productions and creative scenography enhance the visitor experience and are among the many things that make this hall distinctive. The hall's interactive elements promote visitor engagement and participation, an adventure in discovery, creation, and sharing. Powered by human stories, historical treasures, and inspired design. A place to explore the richness and diversity of the Canadian experience, to reflect on the past and think anew about the present and future. Welcome to your history Welcome to the Canadian History Hall.